Welcome to My Career Journey, a podcast that highlights different career paths, tackles tough topics, and shares actionable tips and insights. I'm Emily.
And I'm Allegra. We're your hosts and both career switchers. In each episode, we'll talk about our experiences, learn from others, and help you find happiness and success in your career journey. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are so glad you chose to spend a few minutes with us here today. Emily, what are we doing this episode?
Today is a deep dive where we focus on a specific topic that people approach differently. And the topic that we're going to be talking about is mentorship.
Oh, buddy. Okay, so why did we choose mentorship today? Well, I think, Emily, you and I would not be where we are today without the caring people who helped show us the way. And we know we're not alone. In fact, we're going to dive into some did you know. Did you know a whopping 75% of executives say mentorship has been critical to their career development, according to a survey by the American Society for Training and Development.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a big number.
My fact is the word mentor comes from Greek mythology. Mentor was a mentor for Odysseus's son in the Odyssey. So
I love that. Did you read the Odyssey?
I did at some point. It's been a long time, though.
I read the Iliad, not the Odyssey. And I think they're making a movie about the Odyssey, too. But yeah, I thought that's a good fact. I didn't know that.
It was really interesting. Yeah. And yeah, apparently Athena is also takes the form of mentor too. So I thought that was really cool.
Heck yes, Athena.
Okay. So what does mentorship mean to you?
It's such a big question, isn't it? I think it's like defining what mentorship is. I think I define a mentor as someone who, first of all, they have to care about you, right? And then I think the differentiator between mentor and friend is that they have some kind of expertise that will support you toward achieving some kind of defined goal and the capacity and willingness to help you with that. What do you think?
I feel like there are two types of relationships, mentor relationships, ones that are explicitly stated, like because of a mentorship program or you ask someone to mentor you, or school is another one. And then there are others I would consider mentors that I learned from, but they're not like people I specifically asked to be mentors.
It's interesting because you think about mentor versus other relationships and it's a little more nebulous, right? Because some like mentors can be your boss, but not all bosses are mentors.
Yeah, like at one of my contract jobs, I was working with a colleague at a senior level. And while I never explicitly asked for mentorship, I always considered her a mentor because I just learned so much every time I worked with her.
Yeah.
And it's like stuff I still apply to this day.
Yeah. And I think there's such power in that kind of informality because it's two people choosing to work with each other. And I've done some paid mentorship things in the past or where it was part of a certification, but I think that the power and how it's differentiated is it really is an extension of friendship, but with a more specific purpose.
Right. And I think there are different levels of that too. And maybe we'll cover that a little bit later. What are some myths about mentorship that you've heard? I feel like people have this idea that mentors are usually older and more experienced, but in my experience, you can really learn something from anyone you talk to, even people that are younger than you. And I've been surprised about what I've learned from talking to different people.
My first mentor at my consulting company, she was my boss, and also she was younger than me. And I think that's also, especially if you're doing something like a career switch or entering a new field or learning something where you're behind everybody else, they're probably going to be younger and not always, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's like, check your ego. You can learn something from everybody, right?
Exactly.
She was incredible. Yeah. Age is definitely one of the myths. I think another one we touched on already is this idea of formality with mentorship. Like you said, sometimes the best mentors we have are never formally called mentors unless we call them that. But it's not as if you say, hey, we are entering a mentorship mentee situation. No.
Right. And I think another one is also some people, especially I see in the tech world a lot, like they think mentorship is like a one and done thing. You just have a 30-minute session with someone, and that's called mentorship. Um, and to me, that's not really, it's like, you're asking advice for someone, you're getting something maybe out of a session, but
Right.
it's not real mentorship, in my opinion.
No, because that's a very short-lived relationship. That's a connection, right? I think
Yeah.
maybe building off of that time, I think, is another myth. I think
Mm.
it doesn't have to take a lot of time, but I think there should be some kind of more than a one-off, like you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, exactly. And it doesn't matter like how long between times you reach out too.
Yeah.
Like you could reach out after a couple years. That's still like a mentorship. It's just someone that you feel comfortable reaching out to when you need guidance.
Yeah. Whether it's, you connect every week or you connect every few months or even every year is probably after you've had some kind of more intensive time together. That can all still be mentorship.
Yeah. So when do you look for mentorship?
Yeah, I think there's no bad time, but I think because this is a more focused relationship, it's when you need help with something, right? I
Mhm.
know when I've looked for mentorship in the past, I've had some kind of goal, and two specific examples. One was I was in consulting and I found myself doing a good amount of project management, but I knew I needed to upskill and to learn from people who were really good at that. So I reached out to someone who was like, can I just talk to you about project management, how you do this, how you think about it, even asking to shadow some people.
Mhm.
I got some mentors through that. And the other one was when I was starting sharing notes as a nonprofit. And I needed someone to guide me through how to find local resources and expertise to file incorporation and start a board off the right way. I needed help. So those
Oh
were
my
two
gosh.
examples. I know. I was like, I need a
Yeah,
mentor. I need someone to support me through both of those journeys.
right.
Um,
Oh, that's a lot.
yeah. How about you? What have you looked for mentorship?
It's just usually when I'm actively trying to learn something new, like
Yeah.
obviously during my career switch, I had mentors through my boot camp program. And then I had mentors throughout the community. There were like mentorship programs that I signed up for.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just whenever I'm trying to get better at something, that I reach out.
Yeah. And it is interesting the kind of that I've found both valuable. The ones that are built-ins, like also when I did my
Mhm.
mini boot camp, came with a mentor that was great. And
Right.
especially, I don't know that I would have been able to find someone on my own, but having that structure was
Mm,
really helpful. Um,
yeah.
it was just interesting the kind of the differences between them.
Yeah. And what do you look for in a mentor, or do you have anything when you want to learn something?
I do. It's the same way you think about like what do you look for in a friend, right? I think there should be
Mhm.
some parallels, but with the differentiators. And I think the first is if you have a specific goal, you need to find someone who is able to help you with that expertise or has that experience. So I knew when I was looking
Yeah.
for help with project management, I had to find people who I thought were effective project managers and were reputable at my company or otherwise. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
step one, find someone who can actually help you with what you're looking to get help on.
Yes. And for me also, in addition to that, strategically, sometimes I look for people that might be well connected
Mm,
or work at a company that I'd be interested in working for at some point, or people that are good to know long term,
yeah.
um, that still have that expertise that I need.
Yeah, there's that element of network, and if you build a relationship with them and you hit it off, who else might they be able to connect you with so you can learn from others too? That's
Right.
really powerful.
Yeah.
And I think it's also like someone that you respect and trust because it is a little vulnerable to say, I need help with this. Are you
Yeah.
willing to help me? And there has to be like kind of some similar values. Um, just that baseline connection of I think we kind of are similar in some ways, right? Or you think you can trust them.
Yeah. We talked about like mentorship programs, either through work or other communities and stuff. Are there any other ways you found mentors?
I think some people I've had evolve a little bit into
Mm,
mentors where maybe I was,
okay.
like you said, like maybe you get connected through one project and then it kind of spins off, right? So sometimes it's not in
Yeah.
places where you were actually trying to find a mentor. But certainly, like company initiatives have connected me to them. If they have like a cross regional mentor program, I've signed up for those.
Mm,
Networking, like connections through friends, like you're talking about, you meet someone and say, who might be able to help me with this? And then the kind of informal coffee chats where you're just learning from somebody without any intent, but you're like, oh, actually, I want to learn from you ongoing, right?
yeah, and sometimes I do target those. like not in a like I want you to be my mentor setting, but
Yes.
just more informal.
Yeah, and I think this
Yeah.
is where, like, if you're looking for mentors, that we've talked a lot on this podcast about how we tell our stories and
Hmm.
how we kind of share what we're looking for. And this is another place where that comes in handy, right? You have to be able to say,
Oh,
what are you looking for and who are you to people you've never
yeah,
met
yeah,
before?
yeah. When you are reaching out to someone, do you have a specific way that you do it?
Well, I doubt many people actually say, because I haven't, say, I'd like a mentor. Will you help me?
I've had a couple people kind of say that
Really?
explicitly. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'd be
Um,
curious how much, like, people who have received requests for mentorship, how much they get the explicit ask versus just a kind of connection that evolves. I wonder what the can we find data on that? Does anybody have it? I don't know.
yeah, that would be interesting. It's definitely the way you frame it that matters the most, though.
Yeah. I think the way I've framed it and the way I've seen it most often framed to me is a request for help with something.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm looking to, get unstuck in my career. I'm looking for help with my resume. I'm looking for help with this skill or connection, that kind of thing. Where,
I see.
yeah, that's what I've seen most common, and that's what I tend to do as well because I think it. I also appreciate that it lends scope to a conversation sometimes,
Hmm.
as opposed to just being open ended.
Yeah, no, I like that. And I actually turn it the other way. So it's more like I'd love to learn more from you
Yes.
about what you're doing. And basically, I give them like a 1 to 2 sentence intro about who I am and then tell them why I'm reaching out. I'm really interested in learning more about this specific topic. If they've written anything like a article, blog, or book, created a podcast or video, I make sure to mention something from that I took that resonated with me or that's helped me. And then I usually ask if they have time for a virtual or in-person chat to just start the conversation at least.
What I love about that too is through that kind of message, you are demonstrating care and, like, thoughtfulness, which is a great way to start the relationship. It shows how you value and treat relationships and kind of what you're looking for in return too.
Yeah, because I've found that I am much more open and giving to people when they approach me that way.
Yeah, I get overwhelmed when I don't know how to help people or what they're looking for from me, and I want to help, but it's like, oh my gosh, I feel stuck. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if I can help you. Is this a good use of anyone's time?
Right. But yeah, when the request is so basic, it's like, how did you switch to this field? Like, how can I get a job? I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, first of all, like you need to give me more. I can't spend my mental energy. There's so much here that I need to know in order to give you a valuable answer.
yeah.
So we talked a little bit about like how often to connect with mentors, but do you have like a specific time frame you recommend?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you have to check in with each other, and it's totally dependent on the situation. If you're
Yeah.
receiving mentorship from someone who is an executive, they're going to be really busy, and you have to be really thoughtful and say, I would like to continue connecting with you. What would that look like? Or how can we do that? Right. And you're
Hmm.
giving them then the chance to say, you know what? Why don't you set up time, like, every month, every other month? And I'd love to just have a
Right.
chat. Um, some people are down for the weekly connect. And sometimes that's like when I was shadowing, was asking
Hmm.
to shadow for project management.
Mm,
That was really great to have multiple connects each week because then I was in the work
yeah.
with them. But if
Right.
if it's kind of, hey, I'm working on this skill, would just love to have a casual chat about it every few months with an executive, that's different.
Yeah, for me, like the boot camp program I had, it was like after I finished a section. So there were like set times when we would just check in
Like
and
milestones.
yeah, and then I had another mentor that I could just like chat with anytime if I had a question. But yeah, other people I reach out to like every year, be like, "Hey, I would love to catch up," and just maintain that relationship.
Yeah, and it's that
Yeah,
difference between having a subject matter expert that you're just kind of checking in with and learning with at a high level versus someone you're
right.
more in the weeds with. And both are great, but they serve different purposes and capacity. I had a question for you about this though. When you have a mentor-mentee relationship,
Hmm.
whose responsibility is it to drive the connections and follow up?
To me, it's the mentee
That's what I
because the
was
mentor
thinking
is the
too.
one. giving their time and helping you out.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, because someone's giving to you and you are giving back by cultivating the relationship and
Right.
supporting that. Yeah.
I mean, if look, if you're a mentor and you like are feeling really invested and be like, let's schedule meetings for the next however many weeks, like you can do that. But I think generally it's mentee.
Yep. Same.
So sometimes mentors aren't actually a good fit, even if they're super impressive. And I'm wondering, like, what if you have any signs that a mentor may not be a good fit for you?
I think timing is one of them, right? Like we were just talking about connection. And if the timing just isn't working out, you're not finding the space to connect, I think that's one reason to say, you know what, maybe even just not for right now. Maybe we'll just put this, shelf it. Um, that was one of them. And I think the other is communication styles. Do you
Mm-hmm.
ever feel like sometimes you're just in the same way, like you're just not having that breakthrough or connection where maybe for whatever reason you're not meeting each other and kind of getting the conversation to a place where it's helpful?
Yeah, that happens with music too. Depending on the teacher, like
True. Yes.
yeah, yeah. No, I've found that too, and I think also if their advice isn't serving you and you
Oh
don't feel
yeah.
like you're going in the right direction,
Yeah.
that's another sign. But have you ever had any mentors that have steered you in a direction you didn't agree with?
I've had a bad experience with a mentor, but it wasn't that they were guiding me in a different place. But I wonder, so have you had bad experience? I've just had the one, like the one off. I was like, that wasn't.
Oh, I've had a mentor steer me in a direction that I didn't want to go, which he thought was best for my career path.
Mm,
But after reflecting on it, I feel like I shouldn't have taken his advice
mm.
and been like advocated a little bit more for myself.
And that's tough because there is a power dynamic. I mean, not
Mhm.
as explicit as with, a boss, but still
Mhm.
there's someone you respect and has authority that you don't probably have. And
Yeah.
it's tough to know kind of where, especially if you're younger, right? I don't know, were you younger?
Mhm. No, this was after my career switch,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, but it was like I was still like just beginning in the field. I
Yeah,
was just taking all the advice that I could get and just, taking it at face value instead of taking time to think, is this the right advice for me?
yeah. Oh, that's
So,
tough. Yeah, and it's
yeah.
sometimes it's trial and error, but other times our gut is telling us, I don't think that's right.
Yeah, no, and I shouldn't have listened, but
Mm.
it was a learning experience, and now I'm better at advocating for what I want and knowing what serves me best.
Yeah, so I had a bad experience. I had a mentor who, in this case, was also my boss, but I got the chance to, we talk about mentors creating opportunities and helping you develop.
Mhm.
In this case, I got that opportunity. I got the chance to be a guest lecturer at his seminar and was really excited. I put a lot of thought into my class, and I was looking forward to both sharing my talk and getting feedback on it. And
Mhm.
during the class, he sat in the front so all the students could see him and was just on his phone the whole time,
Oh,
like
no.
not paying attention, which
Oh,
was kind of crushing because I felt like, oh my gosh, like one, am I that boring? Thought I was being really engaging, but maybe there's something
yeah.
off here. Or two, like I'm disappointed because I know he's not paying attention, which is cueing to the students to not pay attention, and
Mhm.
that I wasn't going to get feedback. And I
Yeah.
look for constructive feedback, people that can not just be the yes people, but challenge you to grow in ways
Yeah.
that are hard to hear sometimes, but you need to. And
Mhm.
in that moment, I realized, oh, I'm not necessarily gonna get that from this person, or I need to
Yeah.
address this.
That's another red flag is engagement. If they're not, on their phones or that's yeah, just a sign it may not be the right fit.
Okay, so flipping it from the bad experiences, what have you seen for the green flags, or what tells you mentorship is successful?
If you feel like you're gaining something from
Yeah,
them that's helping you in whatever you're doing.
yeah.
I think that's the biggest one for me.
Yeah, and I think along with that, it's support. Do you feel supported? Do you feel that you
Mhm.
can trust that person
Yeah,
and go to them if something comes up relevant to your
right.
discussions? Yeah, I think feeling heard and supported is really important with these
Yeah, that's
relationships.
another one. Like, what's that taught you about how you engage with your own mentors?
I think help them help you. Be clear about as much as possible. If you don't know, say you don't know, but try
Mm,
and support them with how they can help you. Because I love being a mentor, I really do. But I when I'm not able to help somebody or I don't understand where they need help, it's hard for me, right? And
mhm.
one of the things this has all taught me is like mentors don't have all the answers. Like they're just people trying to figure it out, right? Like your mentor probably thought, "Oh, this is great advice," but didn't wasn't able to apply it for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Um, People are just figuring it out, and mentors are only a few steps ahead of you sometimes.
Just going back a little bit, what kinds of mentorship have you provided? We touched a little bit about it, but just specifically.
Well, I was in a unique situation where I was doing a lot of teaching, which kind of lends
Mm.
itself to more of the mentorship
That's
stuff.
interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
same. Yeah, I was teaching, like,
right?
really young kids. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
miss teaching. I do a little bit. That one-on-one relationship is just so special. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think the two places that stand out, the university, where I saw like clear career growth that I was directly supporting. At the university, I had an opportunity to help one of my student workers identify and build toward a new career path. And now she's thriving in the field, and I'm so proud of her.
That's
Um,
amazing.
that was so great. It's like one of the best feelings ever, like knowing that you had a small part in supporting someone on that journey.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then the other one, actually, and this is just to the point of like, you don't have to be that much further ahead than somebody else to support them. When my first project in consulting, I was 4 months into my gosh, the project, and someone else joined the company and was added to our project. And having just made the transition myself, I took it upon myself to like help. And I got really like beautiful feedback from him about helping
Aw,
him get tasks and responsibilities to ramp up and help him gain confidence as a new consultant. And
that's amazing.
oh, mentorship is so cool.
Sometimes it also doesn't take much to support someone. It just
No,
like the little things that you do, even if it's just like liking a post on LinkedIn or commenting on it or saying congratulations when someone gets a job. It's just
I care about you. I see you. I am cheerleading
yeah.
for you and
Mhm.
being there for them. It's key. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Where have you been a mentor? I mean, you're like, I'm sure a mentor to millions of people across the land.
In tech, it's mostly yeah. No, in tech, it's mostly been through people reaching out and just asking for advice or help. And then
Yeah.
with violin, it was through teaching. And yeah, I did that for a couple years. It wasn't, I mean, I got a lot out of it. Like I learned a lot, but I think for violin, it was a little bit different for me since I was teaching beginners a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a whole other challenge. And I have so much respect for teachers that get you started on learning something completely new.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I just wasn't set up because I was freelancing. I was doing I wanted to perform. So I wasn't like really set up to teach beginners as well as I wish I was.
Yeah, that's a different headspace for sure.
Yes.
Mentorship for like 5-year-olds is like, here's how to be a human in general in society,
Yep.
which is important,
Yeah.
but not necessarily the mentorship we're talking about.
Right. So are there any learnings in particular that you've found from mentorship?
Yeah, I think this is hopefully helpful. I personally have felt a lot of pressure to help enough, like,
Yeah.
um, and I think I need this reminder. I needed it recently when someone called me to ask just to talk through feeling stuck. And I needed the reminder for myself after the conversation. It's okay to start small, and
Yeah.
it will probably help both you as a mentor and mentee, whichever role you're in, to feel less overwhelmed and to build a connection in a sustainable way. Because I think sometimes when we feel like jumping right into the problem solving of it, we skip over the getting to know you part, which is
Mhm.
fundamental to an effective partnership in this.
Right. I think in the long term, it's more about like making that connection with the person.
Yeah.
And then you're both there for each other because situations can change. Like you could end up, they could end up reaching out to you at some point. So,
Absolutely. Like, I mean, like I said before, a former student of mine I was probably a little more of the mentor for her at the university. She was the one that got me connected to consulting. It flips.
mhm.
You never
Right,
know when it's
exactly.
going to happen
Yeah.
or with who.
Yeah. The biggest learnings for me have been you have to approach every person differently and you have to
Yeah.
recognize their strengths and also, I guess, helping them with their target improvement areas as well, but just helping them get to where they want to go by showcasing what they can do.
Yes. I love that. Treat every person differently. And I think with that comes like curiosity. And, if you feel like you have some ambiguity that you need clarified, it's like, where can I help? Or how do you think I
Mhm.
might help you? Or like, does this sound like something you might be able to help me with? And just kind of, I don't know, any other ways you can set team norms too, right? With like, how
Yeah.
often would you like
Mhm.
to meet? And
Right, right.
what would you like this to look like? Just checking in, right? As you said, to
Yeah.
each individual, it's going to be different.
Yeah, yeah. And also recognizing that your advice comes from your own experience a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because I am actually mentoring a very smart young woman in India. And the first time we met, I gave her a ton of advice on like what's worked for me and shared how things like posting on LinkedIn and getting involved with different organizations and doing a lot of extracurricular stuff outside of my career really helped me. And then she tried that and took it away and ran with it. And it didn't work for her. And it kind of made me think, I was like, whoa, I should have said that, like set that expectation at the beginning. Like, this is just what's helped me. And I think culturally too, it was like different in India and like doing stuff like that wasn't as effective at getting jobs. Things like thought leadership, it didn't work as well for her in what she's trying to do.
Oh, the cultural component of that is so important. And I think it's like that getting to know you, but also getting to know your environment and
Yes.
yeah, and wanting to get to know like where you are as this resonate, but also it's like we all have agency to try things. And if they work or they don't work, that's up to us with what we decide to apply from what we hear with our mentorship. But
Yeah.
and when I hear you talk about that, Emily, too, is also just like showing grace. Everyone's doing the best they can, and
Yeah.
some advice or some connections are going to be stronger than others, and
Hmm.
that's okay. Everyone's just doing the best they can.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any advice for people looking for mentors?
I think just reflection. Think about what would a good mentor look like. Who would you be excited to work with? What would you hope to gain and to give? Just do
Mm,
just a little reflection before you set out on that course, and then working within the network you have. I think
mm.
it's often a lot more effective than the cold calls or the LinkedIn direct messages. Yeah.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
do you
I
think?
did a lot of cold calling, and direct messages, but they were within my field.
Yeah.
So like we already had that connection because of the work that we were doing.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's I guess my advice is just make sure you do your research and target the people that can help you achieve your goal, and
Yeah.
be specific when you connect with people about why you want to connect with them and what you want to learn from them. Yeah, because I had someone recently reach out that's like a data science student, and I'm like,
Oh.
he was really like, I really want to learn from you. Like, I'd love to set up a call. But like when he asked the question, it's like I'm not a data scientist, so I can't really help you as much as I wish I could. So
Right.
it
And
was
if he had said, I am in data science, but I'm interested in learning the X, Y, and Z about conversation design, then you're like,
right,
oh, I
exactly.
get
Then it would be
it.
different. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So stuff like that. It's just like I can only help you so much.
Yeah.
And then it's yeah. But I guess the most I can do is connect people to others that I know have experience in their area if they reach out and it's not the right fit. So
Yep. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Well, I think we've covered most of the main points. There's always more we can talk about with these deep dives, but
of course.
yeah, that this has been our deep dive on mentorship. And as always, we want to hear from y'all. What have you seen from your experience receiving mentorship? working with a mentor, and what have you experienced working as a mentor? Let us know what's worked for you and things that can maybe help others. We have more content coming up as always. So thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you on another episode of My Career Journey.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
My Career Journey is produced by Emily Banzhaf and Allegra Montanari. If you enjoy our content, follow us wherever you get your podcasts and find us on YouTube and Instagram at My Career Journey Pod. Thanks for listening.